Hey guys, how's it going? I'm really excited about this because the reason I've decided to make this video was I must have made a video earlier and had my Tesla referral code in there. And someone that I do not know decided to use that code and order a Tesla. So as you can see, I have three referrals. Two of those were my friends under the old program when we used to get supercharging miles. And this third referral was under this brand new program. And I'm not like one of those big Tesla streamers that have a big following and have multiple referrals, hundreds of thousands of referrals. This is my third referral, so that was really exciting for me. So I decided to make this video and give back to the community. I'm going to put my referral link in there, and if you watch the video to the end, if you buy a Tesla, if you're in the market, I'll give you something that none of these other people can do. So watch the whole video towards the end. We'll talk a little bit about that. So, if you already have a Tesla, you've been getting all these emails. I got a notification in my app. They're giving these new referral points. I think you get 10,000 credits. That's what they call them. For if someone buys a Model 3, I think they're higher for Model S and X, of course, and you can spend those credits on all sorts of different things. We're going to talk a little bit about what you can buy and what the credits cost, or what they cost in terms of credits. It's all in the Tesla app. You can go see it. So stick with me and we'll walk through that, and then we're going to look at what makes the most sense. What's the biggest bang for your buck. So stay tuned. I have an Excel file that I've calculated all of this for you guys, and we'll walk through that. All right. All right, so here's the spreadsheet. I've listed all the different sorts of things you can redeem for: supercharging miles, enhanced autopilot, full self-driving. I have to say, when I saw this, I was really excited to get the full self-driving. I got 10,000 points, and 3 months FSD was 10,000. So I was really excited to do that. But wait for it. There's a better value out there. So I'm glad I did the spreadsheet because it kind of worked out for me. There's some lifestyle items, tees, hoodies, a bunch of accessories, and then also a Cybertruck raffle. That's only 500 points. We're going to talk a little bit about that, right? So here's all the point values for these items that you need to redeem them. And then here is the dollar value of what they would actually cost if you were to buy them. Now there's obviously a couple of things that do not have a set value. For most of the lifestyle and accessories, I was able to get the value from the Tesla accessories page. These do not include taxes, so you got to figure that in. And then I calculated basically a dollar per point or cents per point value to see which has the biggest bang for the buck. So for most of these, it's pretty straightforward. FSD 199 a month, just rounding it up to 200, so 600 for 3 months. Cost 10,000 points, so it's basically 6 cents. 6 cents to the point is really what the calculation comes down to. The higher the dollar per point, the bigger bang for the buck. 1 year premium connectivity, 2,500 points. It costs $99.99 for a year, so pretty straightforward. 4 cents. So as you can see, a lot of these items fall in about the 40 to 60, 4 cents to 6 cents range. Maybe 7 cents. Hoodie is about 4.5 cents. Tea is about 7 cents, so maybe a little bit better value. Same thing for accessories. They're about the same. Here maybe the wall connector is a good value. It's about 8 cents. Here's a couple of 8 cents. 5 cents. So the interesting part is that it's not all the same. There's a little bit of variance, but for the most part, these are all straightforward. And I'm going to link the video. I'm going to provide the link for this Excel that you can download and see, right. So if you need to see anything, let's see. I think. Yeah, so I just want to make sure you can see the whole thing. It might be cut off. So there's a couple of things that are interesting, right? So enhanced autopilot. So they do not sell that as a separate add-on as a monthly add-on in the Tesla, right? You can purchase it outright. I think it's $6,000. for the life of the car. They do not sell it on a monthly basis. So where did I get this $300 from? So the way I figured it out, right? So if you actually bought enhanced autopilot, then it drops the value of full self-driving subscription to $100 a month, right? So I basically figured, that's sort of $100 a month contribution to that. So that's kind of where I came with this $300 a number, right? So as you can see, it's actually pretty low value. You get 3.8 cents to the point. If you purchase this, it actually might be a good purchase, given that maybe it's a good way to try it out, see if you actually like it before committing to the $6,000 purchase, right? So there might be some value to doing that. And then I'm going to talk about the supercharging miles, right? So the supercharging miles is not a straightforward calculation. They give miles, and for the most part, supercharging cost, if is either dollar per kilowatt hour, or sometimes it's dollar per minute, depending on where you are. So what I did was I run this program called TeslaMate, and if you are aware of it, that's great. It's an amazing program. So I looked at all my historic supercharging, and basically it averaged out to 35 cents per kilowatt hour, right? So that's what I've paid over the life. And I live in the Southeast, so my cost might be a little bit lower than if you lived in Northeast or the West Coast, where this cost might be higher. So actually you can adjust that based on your number. And this is sort of the watt hour per mile that my car runs. It's a little bit on the higher side, but this is not just just for when it's driving. This is the actual total net consumption, or sorry, gross consumption. And this is a Model Y long range. If you have a Model 3 standard range, this might be much lower. If you have a performance, Model X, this number might be higher. So you can adjust that. Again, this is from TeslaMate. I just got lifetime average watt hour per mile that I've been getting over the life of the car. So basically, using these two numbers, I was able to get a dollar per mile calculation, right? So it cost me 11 cents per mile driven when supercharging, right? And basically multiply that by the number of miles you get, gives me this number, right? So basically, for about 1,500 supercharging miles, I would have paid about $57. About 5,000 mile, 2,000 supercharging miles, I would have paid about $228, which is about right. I think it's maybe a little bit on the higher side. But yeah, that's kind of what I figure like a road trip cost me if I supercharge. So it's pretty good. So you can see, the dollar per point is pretty low on these supercharging miles. So I would think that some of these other things are a little bit more valuable, right? And then I'm going to come to this Cybertruck raffle. I'm not a math guy. I've worked with a bunch of math people, but this is sort of my rudimentary attempt. You guys are going to not like it and maybe put some comments. So, the raffle costs 500 points. And then I put a value of $6 here to what you win. And how did I get that, right? So I just assumed 10,000 entries. And this is really low, right? I mean, just in a quarter, Tesla sells about, say, 250,000 cars. Let's say 200,000 of those are in the US. Maybe just say 1/10 of those are referrals, so that's 20,000, right? And you get 500 points per entry. So if you have 10,000 points, you actually have 20 entries if you maxed out on those, right? So 10,000 is pretty low end, right? So those are the number of entries in the raffle pool. Then I said, okay, what's the probability of winning? So it's basically 1 by this number. What's the value of the Cybertruck? Now that's all over the place. Let's just set 60,000. Just put a number in there. So that basically gave me $6 value. So it's about 1 cent per point. Again, it's a pretty low value, but of course, if you win it, this would be pretty high, right? This is sort of average. If you just win it, right? Let's say the probability were 1, you would win it, and this would be an amazing value, right? So just spend that. And then the last thing, which is sort of this hidden gem that I found, is this acceleration boost. Now, I'm going to talk about what that is and what that does, but it kind of, if you have a Model Y or 3, it reduces your 0 to 60 times. It costs $2,000 in the app to upgrade. It costs 9,500 points. Dollar point value is 21 cents. That's more than 3 times the best value of anything else. Right? 3 times the best value of anything else. to me that was a no-brainer. I'd always wanted to get an acceleration boost. I always thought about spending $2,000 worth it or not. uh, did it in a second. Do not regret it. Complete ultimate best value. So here that is if that's what you want, you can do it. Of course, if you already have it, you can really purchase it again. You might have to do something else, and hopefully the spreadsheet helps you in deciding that, right? So here's everything. We talked about this Cybertruck. Guess you didn't see it. And yep, that's it. So let me know if you have any comments. Oh yeah, and the last thing I'm going to talk about, right? So if you do purchase a car using my referral award, what I'm going to do for you is 1 hour of my time helping you with any one-on-one Tesla questions. I've owned two different Teslas, Model 3, Model Y. I have friends that have X, S. Pretty familiar, done lots of road trips, supercharging. 1 hour, any questions you have, happy to do a video call, set you up with the car, talk about do's and don'ts of supercharging while road tripping. I've seen people do really bad things um, as superchargers. Talk about that. Best way to get home charging set up, my pros, cons, everything, anything you need. I'm gonna provide you my DM on Twitter/X or Threads right here. If you do purchase, send me a DM. I'll connect with you and do the 1 hour session. All right. Well, thank you. Take care.